Everybody wants top tier clients, but nobody wants to pay the price. You think that you can gain money without investing money. You think that money just comes to you and that you don't have to put in the work, nor do you have to have a quality plan which is backed by a quality product or service. You're entitled to what you believe to be a 5-star client. But the question that you really should be asking yourself is, am I worthy of a 5-star client?
And people normally see this with different things as opposed to a product in business. You can think about it like this. If you are on the market, you're single, you're looking for a girlfriend, you're looking for a boyfriend, and you're putting yourself out there, and the traction that you're getting is not what you want it to be. People normally look externally and say,
Yeah,
Ferrari. Wow.
That actually sounded
Yeah,
very
that was
good.
pretty good, not gonna lie. But people normally look externally and say, it's that person's fault. It's their fault. It's this person's fault. X, Y, Z. But rarely do they look internally and say, if I'm not getting what I want to get, am I doing something wrong? People normally don't address that. People normally don't say that and ask themselves that question. So what business has really taught me about everything in life in general, if I'm not getting the results that I'd like, it's more often than not because of me. What I'm offering, what I'm putting out there, what I am doing as far as the work is not good enough. People who look at a test that they got and they saw that they got a B and they're like, oh, I wish I feel like I deserved an A. You didn't deserve an A. Because if you deserved an A, you would have got an A. Why? Because the amount of work that you put, the amount of studying that you put into being prepared for this test, being prepared for this quiz, this homework, what have you, is normally what you end up seeing in the results. So if you're doing B plus work, you're going to get a B plus fucking score. And people in life, for some reason, think that they're entitled to A's, 10s, great things in life without having done anything to deserve those things in the first place. So we were talking to a mentor today, and he basically said something like this, where he was, like, you spend $1 or you have a $1 product, you're going to get a $1 client. You have a $10 product, you're going to get a $10 client. And originally, for our products, one of our businesses, we were pricing it a little higher. And now after that conversation, it's like, At the time, and granted, we know how the business works, so this behooves us to have this model right now. But at the time, we had a great product that, to us, being priced relatively higher wasn't a problem. Why? Because of the quality and consistency in the product. However, we were pricing it high and talking to $1 and $10 clients. And nothing wrong with those people at all. But you're not going to find someone who has driven a Toyota Prius their whole life, and that's the favorite car that they love to drive and the only car that they like to drive, and take them to a Lamborghini fucking store and they understand the price tag that they're seeing there. They're going to say, oh my gosh, that's just outrageously priced. I would never buy that. It looks good, but I would never buy that. Okay, it's cool. You're not the person. Yeah, you're not the person that this was made for, right? Just the things that we hear. But you're not the person that this was made for. I hate to say it like this, but you're a $1, you're a $10 client. This is a $500,000 car. You're not a $500,000 client. And that's something that we had to understand, that sometimes it's not the product. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not even the price. Sometimes it's the person that you're dealing with. And if they're a $1 client, if they're a $10 client, they might not be able to understand what you're offering them. However, always have to say that if you want to get the results that you're looking for, you must start internally first and then work your way out externally. Because if you're not getting the results, mainly it's because of what you're doing. However, if you have a market for that $500,000 product and you are tapped in with that market, there you go.
Well, and the interesting thing that comes to my mind when you're discussing this is that generally the customers that complain the least are the higher ticket item customers, the customers who are going to buy the more expensive, more luxurious products. And why is that? Well, it's very simple. When you're making these sorts of purchases or investments, generally you're going to be a different caliber of person. You're somebody who is almost guaranteed that at that price point, the quality and the customer service is going to be up to par with what you require. And or you understand that certain purchases that you're going to make come with certain expenses. If you buy a Ferrari, for example, like the one that just blew past us, you know that it's a supercar. You know that it's not always going to turn on when you want it to turn on, and you're probably going to have a bunch of issues with the car, but you're making that purchase knowing that that's going to be the case. However, when you walk into the Ferrari dealership, you're going to have an experience. They're going to take you into the showroom, get you a cup of coffee, take you around, boom, boom, walk you around, talk you through all the customizations that you can get. You might even get a custom jacket with your car. You might get gloves with it. You might get a new steering wheel. There's all types of complimentary things that they can give you or that they will be looking to pitch at you. But the point is, you're walking into this space, you're going to spend this amount of money. You're already in a different category and in a different level, and they'll treat you accordingly, but you also know what you're walking into. It's like getting an expensive cup of coffee. You're expecting either higher quality or better customer service or both.
And it's funny that you say that, and this is not universal, but as you go up the pricing ladder and the thing that you're buying costs more, I would assume that the person who's buying those items is more informed, more knowledgeable about that specific item that's being purchased. So if you have a $1 pencil, do you think someone gives a fuck about the intricacies of that fucking pencil? No, I just need something to write with. I don't care. I don't need to know all these facts. Just give me something to write with. It's $1. I'll take it. I'll take 5. I don't give a fuck. However, if you have a $100 pencil, the person who's probably buying that $100 pencil, the small minority might be there to flex and say that I have a $100 pencil, but most of them are going to be there because they're like, hey, I know that this was manufactured in fucking Switzerland and it was manufactured by this person. He was the creator of this company that transitioned into this company, and he creates some of the best art pieces on the planet, and he transitioned into the pencil industry, and he's able to display this pencil and market this pencil phenomenally, and it made me so infatuated that I had to come out here and buy this pencil, not only because of the pencil itself, but also because of what it can do and the story behind it. It's like with luxury watches. You know, you can buy a fucking $100 whatever. The person buying it may not know the whole story behind it or doesn't necessarily care. They just like that fucking watch. However, if you're buying a fucking Audemars Piguet, mainly, I'd say it's for the history and the intricacies of that piece that come with the piece, as opposed to just buying it just to buy it. Now, there's some people who just want to flex and buy that shit. However, the more you get up to those higher ticket items, the higher realms of, you know, things that you can buy, the more you'd like to know about those things as well, the more knowledgeable of the demographic that you're working with. So when you're dealing with these lower ticket items, you have to understand who you're talking to, who you're marketing to. Not saying that people who want these lower items are not intelligent, they just don't give a fuck. Mainly, it's mainly for convenience, as opposed to actually caring about the fucking story, as opposed to caring about the, you know, the little details about whatever the fuck you're selling. So now that you have something that might be a higher ticket item that you're trying to sell to people, I wouldn't approach it from a standpoint of, oh, this is just the cheapest thing ever or whatever, or the quality is just so good. Yeah, the quality is good, but go into detail about why. And then when you go into detail about why, you give a story and context to that. The people who purchase those things love those things. They love to learn about why something is this price, why it costs so much, why it is such a hassle to get this leather or this type of leather or this type of fucking, carbon fiber from this specific place. They love those details, and that's why they buy those things, because of those intricate details. So with the higher price, normally, in my opinion, you're dealing with a more knowledgeable consumer. And when you're dealing with a more knowledgeable consumer, in my opinion, it's less of a hassle to sell, because they're already knowing what they're coming in there for. And the sell is a lot simpler than dealing with someone who's trying to buy something at a lower ticket price, because they might have the funds to be able to afford that thing in general. So they're going to haggle you. They're going to ask a whole bunch of fucking questions. They're not going to be privy to the information walking into the store, walking into meeting you wherever you're at. They're going to want to know those things right then and there, because that money, that dollar, whatever the fuck they're spending means so much more to them, because they don't have much. But the higher you go, they don't give a fuck about spending that money, because they know the product, they care about the product, they care about the details. So when you meet them, hi, bye, I want this, there you go.
Well, it's an interesting way of putting it. And I think a good summary would be, you have to sell to a broke person, but a wealthy person sells to themselves, because they already know what they're coming in to buy. It's the same thing when somebody walks in and they're trying to get a donation, whether it be for recovering addicts in a church or some other endeavor. They walk in, and usually, if you're not strapped for cash, you don't even care what they're saying. You're like, hey, just give me the banana bread. Here's $15. Take it. But make sure you leave the banana bread, because
kind of need that.
So essentially, what I'm saying is, you got to realize, where are your efforts best utilized? Wasting and trying to sell to somebody who's broke, like you mentioned, or putting in the effort to sell to somebody who's wealthy or has financial means and capabilities to do those things, because you're going to have less of a headache, an easier transaction, guaranteed income, and somebody who already understands the processes. It's like hiring a photographer, paying the photographer in advance and saying, hey, don't worry, I know the editing takes time. If you don't have money and you need the photos fast, you're going to pressure a photographer and get inferior work, and then you're also going to tarnish that relationship to a degree. But if you have the means to give them time, to give them the finances, to help them grow, you're investing in them, and they'll return the favor. So it goes both ways. As a consumer, you need to be giving, and also as somebody who's selling something, you also have to be giving. You got to realize, hey, my talents are best utilized haggling with broke people, or are my talents best utilized not even arguing with somebody who wants to come in and buy the product? Like, if you want to come in and buy a car, buy a car. I'm not going to force you to buy one. I may be really good at finessing you into buying one, but I'm not going to sit here and beat the dead horse all damn day.
Exactly. And you know what I find interesting, since you mentioned the car dealership? You've been to car dealerships, right? So if you're, say, at a Toyota car dealership, more often than not, those are pretty busy, right? Now, whenever you go to, say you drive by the Lamborghini dealership during regular hours, do you see anybody in there?
Only the maintenance people.
Only the maintenance people, or only the people who work there. Why is that? You think it's a coincidence? Lamborghini is making all this money. I believe that they are doing better than ever, actually, as far as revenue. How are they doing that if nobody's in their shops, if nobody's in their stores? It's because the clientele that's coming there, they're the higher ticket clientele. They're the fucking $500,000 client. $500,000 clients, because they're well informed, because they know what the fuck they want, go in and they go out. They might not even go in. They might make a call and say, hey, I want this car in this color, and I'll send you the fucking wire. So, like Jose mentioned, you could be the person who's selling these fucking $10 products or these fucking $20,000 cars. You see 100 people every fucking week coming by your desk specifically, not just the fucking car dealership, your desk, and trying to finesse them and haggle them into buying a fucking car which they can barely fucking afford, and then you get a nickel and a dime out of that. Or you could work extra fucking hard, extra fucking long, and then you have a fucking product that stands out, is very luxurious, might be priced a little high, but it's all because of the work and sweat equity that you put into it. You price a little bit higher, and then when you have people that you know, want that specific product and you have a market for it, when you're dealing with those people and they know about your product somehow, some way, the transactions are going to be a lot smoother because, again, they know what the fuck they want. They're knowledgeable and they have the fucking money. So whenever you're dealing with these people, instead of fucking, again, sweating for a nickel and a dime that you may make in a fucking week, you might have one client come by your desk at the fucking Lamborghini dealership and you already made a fucking 10% commission off of that fucking purchase, or, maybe not 10%, let's just say 5 or some shit like that, 5 to 3% or something like that. And now, as opposed to having, $1,000 after a month of fucking hard work, now somehow, some way, you have damn near $10,000 fucking dollars or some shit that have gone into your pocket, all because of that one transaction. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that this is just a easy thing to navigate. However, this is the ballpark that you're playing in now. You're not playing in the little leagues over here with all the commotion, all the crowds, all the people hustling, bustling, coming in and out. You're playing in the major leagues where, things are more geared towards those big fucking numbers. The little fucking runs that you used to do over here, the little fucking, I hit one home run on this person on this day. That's not happening over here. Over here, the people that you're playing against throw fucking 100-mile-per-hour fucking fastballs. You're not hitting home runs anymore. And whenever you do hit a home run, though, it's a big fucking home run. And the money that you see reflects that.
I'm put you on some game here. While Austin was spitting absolute fire at y'all, which I hope you ignoramuses were taking in the wisdom that you can only experience once in your lifetime, I was over here doing numbers. So, check this out. Lamborghini made around $1.7 billion euros. $1 billion euros is crazy. Oh, okay. Actually, the number gets better. Sorry. They made 2.7 billion euros in 2023. Let me redo my math here because I was doing it based on the wrong number. Okay. They made 27% profit margins on that. 27.2. They made 729 million euros, okay, of profit last year. Euros, okay? Keep that in mind. The euro is higher than the dollar. HEB, a local company, coveted as the cradle of Texas. You come to Texas just to go to HEB, the best grocery store in the world. Made $43.6 billion in 2023, but only made 1.6% profit. So HEB made around $450 million profit, coming from $43.6 billion revenue, while Lamborghini made over $729 million profit, coming from, euros off of a profit that is only at 2.7 billion euros still. All this to say, how is it that you can make more profit or more revenue but less profit? HEB sells to everybody, but Lamborghini only sells to certain people. Isn't it worth your while to learn where you can lower your costs and increase your margins? Isn't it worth your while to dial in on your market and to invest in high ticket and high quality products that are going to yield you continuous relationships with your clients? Because most people who purchase something like a Lamborghini or a Rolex or an Audemars Piguet are going to purchase another one. They become repeat customers. And even if they're not going to purchase the same item, they're going to purchase items within the same domain. If you have a Lamborghini, now you got to get tires. You might want a wrap. You might want a jersey. You might want to go to the F1 race. There's a whole bunch of things that are going to cascade from that. And sure, it's going to hurt you in your business. Initially, you're going to be at a loss. But if you're going into business thinking you're going to be pulling out money in year 1 through year 5 or even up to year 10, I would say tread with caution, because not in all cases is it possible for you to pull out money from your business and sustain your own lifestyle, especially with the cost of living having gone up just globally. So take the time, take a step back, understand your market, and really see, okay, how do I go from a $1 client to a $10 client? What am I going to have to look like as a company? What are we going to have to say? What's our product going to have to look like? How do we dress? How do we talk? Are we impressive or are we depressive? What do our clients think of us? Do they look at us and say, look at these sorry bastards? Or do they say, I want to fucking buy from these hunks? I fucking like these guys. I love what they stand for. I love their story. Give me a box. Matter of fact, give me 10. You need money? I got you.
And it's crazy that you said that. Just quick here, like the sales associate at Walmart is going to look different than the sales associate at fucking Neiman's, at Saks Fifth. Why? Because when you're buying these higher ticket items, you also have to improve yourself as a salesman or salesperson. So whenever you increase from a $1 to a $10 client, you are going to have to increase from a person who sells a $1 product to a person who sells a $10 product. And that might mean how you present yourself. That might mean how you talk. That might mean how you present your product, the packaging, the labels, the apparel that comes with it, everything. So as you increase your clientele, you yourself, once again, just to tie everything back to the first point, you need to increase yourself, because you can't fucking sell, or you can't have a fucking $100,000 client while you look like fucking $10. It's not gonna fucking work. If you want those clients, you want those people to follow you, to buy from you, to partner with you, and to come back, you yourself need to speak the part, look the part, and all that other shit as well. I'm seeing your face over there. But yeah, so look the part, act the part, and be the person who sells $100,000 items, as opposed to the person who sells $10 items looking for those $100,000 come-ups. It's not going to work that way.
Scared money don't make no money, baby.
Exactly.
Y'all get after it.
Mic check. The AM Club Podcast.